To avoid potholes, you need to be able to judge where your left wheels are and your right wheels are from your perspective. When driving, your left wheels are around about here and your right wheels are around about here. So that's about 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock on the steering wheel, assuming the steering wheel is a clock face with 12 o'clock in the middle. It's slightly closer to 12 o'clock than 11 and 1, but it's quite close to 11 and 1 o'clock. At the moment, we have a large pothole on the left that lines up with around about 11 o'clock on the steering wheel. That means my left wheels are going to go straight into that pothole. The pothole typically goes out of view 1 car length before you hit it. Here's a demonstration. So it's gone out of view now. I'm hitting with the front now and with the back now, and obviously stop before I hit the wall. This time I don't want to hit the pothole. I want the car to go over it, so the pothole is in the middle with my left wheels to the left of it and my right wheels to the right of it. That means I need to line the pothole up with about 12 o'clock on the steering wheel. To get the pothole to go underneath the car in between the wheels, I need to line it up with the top of the wheel. Now don't think you can turn the wheel like this and go, oh, look, it's lined up with the pothole now. The pothole is going to go under the car. It doesn't work like that. It needs to be the top of the wheel wherever the wheel happens to be turned. Think of it like the middle of this shade over the instrument cluster. I'll demonstrate that now. So have a look around and make sure it's safe. And I'm going to try and get that pothole now lined up with the top of the wheel wherever that happens to be. See, now I think it's about the middle. If I go forwards, that pothole will go under the car in between the wheels. This time I'm going to pass the pothole by keeping it to my left. That means I need to keep it to the left of the steering wheel. If it looks like it's going to be to the left of the wheel, that means I'm definitely not going to hit it. In fact, in most cars, you can let the pothole get as close as about 10 o'clock on the steering wheel before you risk hitting it. What I'm going to do now is get really close to that pothole on the left, which means it can't be much closer than around about 10 o'clock on the wheel. Now, of course, I could make it easy and avoid it by making the pothole even more to the left of the wheel to make sure I definitely miss it. But there's a curb on the right and a pothole in the middle. And I need that pothole in the middle to go underneath the car so that I miss all 3 problems. Therefore, I need to be near to that pothole on the left, which means it can't be much closer than about 10 o'clock on the wheel. And I think about there should do it. You can see that. Now the pothole in the middle is going to go underneath the middle of the car, and I've missed the pothole on the left and the curb on the right. Of course, the same thing is true for the right of the car. If the pothole goes through around about 1 o'clock, then I'm going to hit the pothole. If the pothole is further than 2 o'clock, then I'm going to miss the pothole. The pothole is going to stay to the right of the vehicle. So when the pothole is lined up with around about 1 o'clock on the steering wheel, that means your right wheels are going in that hole. But for the right side, it can actually be lined up closer to 12 o'clock and you're still going to go in the hole. If you want the hole to go underneath the car and between the wheels, you need it to be lined up with the very top of the wheel at 12 o'clock. So you can see now the pothole is somewhere between 1 and 12 o'clock, yet, as I'll demonstrate, we're still going to hit it. The pothole goes out of view 1 car length away before we hit it. Front goes in now and back goes in now. But if I keep that pothole to the right of 2 o'clock on the steering wheel, then I'm definitely going to miss it, as I'll demonstrate now. So I'm steering to the left a bit just to make sure that pothole is to the right of 2 o'clock. Now I'm definitely going to miss it. Sometimes you can't avoid the pothole because it's too big, or there's multiple of them that take up all of the space like I have here. Doesn't matter where I position myself in this half of the road, I'm going through those potholes. So in that situation, it's just best to go through at a reduced speed. Of course, if it is safe, you can use the other side of the road to go around a pothole, but make sure you're not going to be affecting oncoming traffic when you do that. Treat it like a parked car. If it's bad enough that you think you must go around it, you may even wait before that pothole for oncoming cars and then go round the pothole when it's safe to do so. In fact, on your driving test, if you drive into a bad pothole that's easily avoidable, they may mark you down for planning and awareness. But don't let that worry you and have you driving down the road weaving from left to right, trying to avoid every single little minor pothole and bump. If driving into a pothole is going to be marked down on the driving test in Great Britain, that pothole needs to be severe and one that you could have easily avoided. If you're driving on a poor road surface that has loads of little bumps and potholes all over the place, sometimes it's better just to continue and maintain your normal position, because constantly weaving from left to right, well, that can cause danger. Here's an example of such a road. There's loads of little bumps and holes everywhere. Weaving from left to right isn't going to help much. In fact, my pupils don't like doing faster than about 10 miles an hour down here. It's like the poor road surface acts as a natural speed limit. But what I find is that if you go faster, it actually gets a little bit smoother. And that is something that's a bit strange, because if you're on a road with loads of little bumps and holes, going faster sometimes can feel smoother. But if the holes and bumps are big, slower is definitely better. Here's one I'm absolutely hating at the moment. It's a pothole on a mini roundabout, or should I say most of the mini roundabout is a pothole and you can't really avoid it. So all I do is make sure I've got a bit more time so that I can go slower over what doesn't feel like a road. It's important to drive through floodwater very slowly. There are many reasons why, but one of them is you can't see the road surface. So you don't know if there's a pothole there and how bad that pothole is. Also, you may not think it's very deep, but if that pothole is deep, that water is about to get deeper. And here we are, a small flood. Just this morning, a car went into the flood with 4 tyres that were inflated and came out with 3 tyres that were inflated, and she had to stop. I'm guessing this person doesn't want to go through it. Maybe a sensible choice. I have an idea what's lurking beneath this water, and last time I did it in 2nd gear. This time I'm going to do it in 1st gear because it does get a little bit bumpy. Feels smooth, but you don't know what's about to happen, and it's quite a drop when it does happen. Seems all right at the moment, but then yeah, there we go, there's the biggie, and down, here we go. And slowly up again, and the car behind us watched me and followed through and decided to go to the side where hopefully that huge hole isn't. But that hole is a tyre killer. If you have to go through a pothole which is unavoidable, and let's say it's quite a big pothole, do it slowly, because doing it slowly is going to reduce the impact on your tyres, your wheels, your suspension, and your car in general. For example, this is a screwdriver. Now, if I was to take it and start jabbing the side of my tyre like that with the screwdriver with a moderate force from my very powerful arms, not a lot is likely to happen. But if I was to put the screwdriver against the tyre and start whacking it with a hammer, well, I may get through. So when it comes to dealing with potholes, speed does matter. Reduce your speed and you will reduce your impact. These potholes are hard to avoid because they're on a bend, and for me to avoid them, I'd have to go on the wrong side of the road on that bend, which isn't very safe, so I just grin and bear them. Same here, some more potholes here. They're not very bad though, but chances are I need to go through them just to reduce speed. But these potholes on the left here, if no one's coming, I just move to the right and go past them. If someone is coming, I move to the left and then I go through them at a reduced speed, because they are still not very nice, but they're not so bad that I have to actually avoid them. I'll avoid them if I can, if not, I'll go through them slowly. If you drive through a pothole and it damages your vehicle, there is actually a way you can claim compensation. There's a website. It's gov.uk/claim for damage to your vehicle. Now, I can't speak from personal experience because I've never submitted a claim. However, I have heard from people who have, and apparently the claim process is long. The chances of a successful outcome are low, but some people have succeeded and they've had compensation. So if you feel you deserve compensation because your car's been damaged due to poor road quality, there is actually a way you can try and claim. In Great Britain, you will find a higher number of potholes on the roads at the end of winter, beginning of spring. And that's because more potholes are created during the winter than they are during the summer. The reason why that is because of water freezing, expanding, and then damaging the road. Water gets into the little cracks in the road, it freezes, expands, that damages the road, vehicles drive over that damaged road, damaging it more and churning it up. And then over the summer months, more potholes are being repaired than being created, so the roads get better. Well, I hope this video helps you avoid potholes. If you think it does, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're looking for car insurance, check out the links to Collingwood and Confused in the description. If you're learning to drive and want to insure yourself on somebody else's car, then Collingwood are there for you, because you can do so without affecting the owner's policy, and that takes away a big stress from the owner of that car. Via the link at the moment, it's up to 35% off and a £20 Amazon gift card. If you want to insure your own car, I recommend checking out the link to confused.com, because you fill out one quote form and get loads of quotes back from many insurers to compare who's cheapest. And if you're shopping around for cars, you can change your car on that quote as many times as you like without having to do the whole quote. So it's a quick and easy way to compare how much it costs to insure different cars. Using the links doesn't cost you anything, but it does support the channel, so thank you very much. Subscribe to get my future videos, and until the next one, cheerio.